Chosen one, if right now you sense something shifting in an almost tangible way in the atmosphere around you, an inexplicable stirring, a quiet electricity in the air, understand that this is no random coincidence. It is a divine announcement, a sacred confirmation that your destiny has just been activated and elevated to an entirely new level. You did not stumble upon this video by accident. It is a deliberate appointment orchestrated from heaven to tell you that the upheavals, the intense pressures, and even the seasons of isolation you have been walking through are not signs of collapse or defeat. On the contrary, they are unmistakable evidence that you are being set apart as one specially chosen. Do not leave yet, because in the next few minutes, we will together decode 5 undeniable signs that heaven is quietly clearing the way for your great arising, a version of you so powerful and radiant that even those who once doubted, misunderstood, or opposed you will be compelled to acknowledge the glory now unfolding. Before we continue, please leave a comment with the name of your country and one specific thing you are crying out to God for right now so that we can stand together in prayer for one another. Remember, the chosen one never walks alone. If these words feel like they are speaking directly to your spirit, hit the like button as an act of faith-filled agreement and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the timely messages heaven is sending specifically for you. Stay with us to the end, because what is about to be shared could very well be the missing piece you have been waiting for all this time. You, dear soul, have never merely existed. You have always been an anomaly, a divine whisper in a clamorous world. Far from ordinary, you are an earth angel, a spiritual warrior, intricately woven into the fabric of this reality with a distinct spiritual genetic code. This isn't a poetic embellishment, but a profound truth declaring your intrinsic value and purpose. Your very essence carries a celestial signature, setting you apart with an unwavering light and an ancient wisdom that resonates deeper than surface-level understanding. Embrace this heritage, for it is the foundation of who you are called to be. This profound truth finds its echo in the sacred words of Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, which declares with timeless authority, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you." Your existence is not a cosmic accident, nor is your unique composition a mere deviation. Instead, your difference is a divine blueprint meticulously crafted and intentionally designed, rather than a system error to be corrected. This ancient affirmation solidifies the understanding that your distinct nature is part of a grander sacred design, establishing your profound significance in the tapestry of creation. It is this very divine blueprint that explains the persistent, sometimes isolating, stranger feeling you carry within. The reason you often feel a profound sense of not belonging to the crowd, an inability to genuinely blend into the fleeting, superficial pleasures that captivate so many, is not a flaw in your design. On the contrary, it is because your vibrational frequency, attuned to higher realms, is inherently more elevated than the surrounding environment. This spiritual magnetism naturally sets you apart, creating a sacred distance from that which does not resonate with your soul's true home. The very fact that your life often feels like an unending battleground is not a curse, but rather the most profound confirmation that you carry within you an immense, invaluable treasure, one that the forces of darkness covet relentlessly. An empty house draws no thieves. It is the presence of untold riches that invites siege and struggle. So when adversaries seem to gather at your gates, understand that their relentless assault is not a testament to your weakness, but to the extraordinary wealth of spirit, purpose, and potential that resides within you, a divine endowment that hell itself cannot ignore. This constant spiritual warfare, therefore, is not a sign of misfortune, but a validation of your inherent significance. It whispers us a truth often obscured by the din of conflict. You are not just surviving. You are safeguarding something precious, a light so brilliant, a calling so potent that it demands the attention of the unseen realms. Every trial, every confrontation, every moment of weariness in this unending fight serves as irrefutable evidence that you possess a magnificent gift, a divine spark destined to ignite change and challenge the status quo of darkness, making you a threat to its very existence. Embrace this truth, for it transforms your struggles from burdens into badges of honor, proving beyond doubt the profound treasure within your soul that is worth fighting for. Perhaps this very treasure, the one for which you find yourself under constant spiritual siege, often manifests in a capacity widely misunderstood and even maligned: your profound hypersensitivity. What many have labeled a weakness, a burden that makes you vulnerable to the world's harsh edges, is in truth a sacred God-given superpower of discernment. This isn't a flaw to be overcome. It is an exquisite spiritual antenna finely tuned to the frequencies of truth and falsehood, joy and sorrow in the hearts of others. Your ability to feel the raw, unfiltered pain of those around you, to intuitively sense their unspoken burdens, and to effortlessly see through the veils of deception and pretense, is not a sign of fragility. On the contrary, it is the potent gift of spiritual insight, allowing you to perceive the world and its inhabitants with a clarity that eludes most. This heightened awareness is a divine endowment, enabling you to navigate complex human interactions with an uncommon wisdom, to offer genuine solace where superficial comfort fails, and to stand as a bulwark against the subtle manipulations of deceit. Cherish this deep empathy, for it is through this very sensitivity that you are called to bring healing truth and profound understanding into a world desperate for both. And as this divine discernment refines your spirit and sharpens your perception, you become, whether you realize it or not, a beacon in a world yearning for clarity. You are a lighthouse standing steadfast against the tumultuous waves of deceit and confusion, not merely for your own journey, but for the countless souls navigating treacherous waters. When you choose to shine your authentic light, guided by your profound sensitivity and discernment, you do more than illuminate a path. You inadvertently expose the hidden dangers, the ugly submerged rocks, and the shadowy depths that lie beneath the surface. It is this revelatory power that often stirs discomfort and even resentment in those who prefer to dwell in the dimness. The ones who thrive in the shadows, whose actions or intentions cannot withstand the scrutiny of genuine light, will inevitably find your presence unsettling, a challenge to their carefully constructed facades. Do not mistake their irritation for your failing. It is simply the natural reaction of darkness recoiling from an undeniable illumination. Your radiance is not a weapon of offense, but an undeniable force of truth, a silent testament to integrity that by its very nature brings everything into stark relief. Therefore, if you find yourself an object of unwarranted criticism or inexplicable animosity, take heart. It is often merely proof of the powerful light you carry, a light so potent it unveils what others wish to keep concealed, making your presence a vital guide for those who seek the safety of clarity. Yet the journey of a lighthouse or any magnificent creation is rarely without its trials. The reflections you observe in the quiet solitude of your own gaze today, the subtle lines etched by worry, the profound fatigue shadowing your eyes, the deep scars etched upon your spirit from the battles you've endured and the truths you've discerned. These are not final verdicts of your being. Do not mistake these markers of your journey for your ultimate destination. What you perceive now as imperfections or weariness is merely the raw, powerful draft of a grander design. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is not punishing you, but meticulously preparing you carefully, sculpting every facet of your being, tempering your spirit, and deepening your soul for a magnificent unveiling. Every challenge has been a chisel, every wound a brushstroke, adding texture and profound depth to the masterpiece you are destined to become. You are on the precipice of a glorious debut, a revelation of self more breathtaking and powerful than you can currently imagine. Soon, the curtain will rise, revealing not a person broken by trials, but a soul refined, radiant, and utterly resplendent, a true work of art forged in the crucible of life. Hold fast to this prophetic vision, for your struggles are not endings, but the very prologue to your most magnificent chapter. One of the most immediate and often profoundly painful signs of a significant shift in one's life journey is the sudden disappearance of people once considered trusted confidants or indispensable companions. This initial feeling can be akin to rejection, a sharp sting of abandonment that leaves us questioning our worth and the very fabric of our connections. Yet with a deeper spiritual lens, we begin to understand that this is not an act of dismissal, but an intricate dance of divine protection, a clearing of the path for what is truly meant to be. It is a sacred sifting lovingly orchestrated by forces far greater than our immediate understanding. The departure of these individuals, though heartbreaking in the moment, serves as an essential safeguard against energies and influences that are no longer conducive to our evolving spirit. As we grow, our vibrational frequency shifts, and those who operate on lower frequencies naturally find themselves unable to resonate with our new state of being. This isn't a judgment of their character, but a recognition of energetic incompatibility. Imagine a delicate plant needing specific conditions to thrive. Any element that would stunt its growth or poison its roots must be gently yet firmly removed. Similarly, the universe, in its infinite wisdom, prunes our social landscape to ensure our spiritual and emotional flourishing. This process, while initially feeling like a void, is actually creating sacred space, preparing us for relationships that are more aligned, more supportive, and ultimately more enriching to our destiny. It is a powerful affirmation that our journey is being watched over, and that every loss, no matter how piercing, is imbued with a purpose far grander than we can perceive. This divinely orchestrated sifting is illuminated profoundly by the ancient wisdom found in Mark chapter 4, verse 22, which declares, "For there is nothing hidden which will not be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it should come to light." This timeless truth serves as a profound comfort and explanation during times of relational upheaval, as we ascend to new levels of spiritual awareness and clarity. God, in His boundless grace, begins to turn on the light within and around us. Under this piercing illumination, the masks that people have worn, perhaps for years, begin to slip, revealing their true intentions, energies, and alignments. It is a moment of raw authenticity where pretense can no longer be sustained in the purifying glow of truth. The revelation of hidden aspects, whether conscious deceit or simply energetic misalignment, is not a punitive act, but a necessary cleansing for our spiritual sight. Just as shadows dissipate with the rising sun, so too do hidden agendas, and discordant energies become apparent when the light of divine truth shines brightly. This process can be uncomfortable, even shocking, as familiar faces suddenly appear in a new, unvarnished light. Those who have been operating from places of inauthenticity, fear, or self-interest find it increasingly difficult to remain in our orbit once their true nature is exposed. They are not judged out, but rather shine out, forced by the sheer intensity of the spiritual light to recede, as their vibrational frequency cannot tolerate the emerging truth. This shedding of masks is a crucial step in preparing us for genuine, transparent connections, building our foundation on truth rather than illusion. Following the divine illumination that reveals hidden truths, we witness the universe's powerful defense mechanism spring into action, an intricate design ensuring our continued growth and the protection of our destined path. As we prepare to level up, meaning to ascend to higher states of consciousness, purpose, and energetic frequency, certain individuals, often termed low-frequency people or energy vampires, simply cannot accompany us on this advanced journey. Their presence would not only hinder our progress, but actively deplete the vital energy needed for our transformation. It is not an act of malice or judgment on their part, but a fundamental incompatibility of vibrational states that necessitates their removal. Think of it like a rocket preparing for launch. Every ounce of unnecessary weight must be shed to achieve escape velocity and reach its intended destination. Similarly, as our spiritual rocket prepares to soar, the universe intelligently prunes away attachments that would drag us down. Energy vampires, whether through constant negativity, manipulation, jealousy, or a persistent need to extract our vitality, operate at a frequency that is discordant with our upward trajectory. Their presence creates friction, dissipates focus, and can even subtly sabotage our aspirations. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and protective care, understands that such relationships, however familiar, pose a direct threat to our unfolding destiny. Therefore, these individuals must be lovingly yet firmly removed from our immediate sphere to safeguard our precious energy, maintain our positive momentum, and ensure that our path remains clear for the extraordinary purpose that awaits us. This divine intervention is a testament to the profound value placed on our unique journey. In the wake of these relational departures, particularly when they involve betrayal, the natural human inclination is often to harbor resentment, anger, or even hate towards those who have seemingly wronged us. Yet a truly transformative perspective invites us to transcend these raw emotions and see the betrayers not as villains, but as crucial, albeit painful, instruments in our spiritual evolution. They are, in a profound sense, like Judas in the biblical narrative, a mandatory factor whose actions, however agonizing, push us directly towards the cross of dying to self, from which a glorious resurrection inevitably comes. This cross is not a physical place, but a powerful metaphor for the ultimate surrender of the ego, the shedding of old identities, limiting beliefs, and the attachment to external validation. Betrayal in its sharpest form can shatter our illusions, expose our vulnerabilities, and force us to confront parts of ourselves we might have otherwise avoided. It is in this crucible of pain and disillusionment that we are compelled to let go of what no longer serves us, to die to the expectations, the hurt, and the former self that was reliant on certain people or circumstances. This process of dying to self, though excruciating, is the fertile ground from which a more authentic, resilient, and spiritually awakened self emerges. The glorious resurrection that follows is not merely a return to normalcy, but a profound rebirth into a higher state of being, stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and deeply rooted in an unshakable inner peace. Thus, the betrayers unknowingly become catalysts for our most profound spiritual growth, propelling us towards a destiny richer than we could have imagined without their difficult yet ultimately purposeful role. The wisdom of ancient scripture profoundly articulates this need for space and renewal, stating that you cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. This timeless metaphor perfectly encapsulates why the current loss of relationships, however painful, is not merely an ending, but a divinely orchestrated act of clearance. It is God's intentional way of preparing fertile ground, clearing the memory of past connections and their associated energies to make way for a profound upgrade, the installation of higher quality relationships, often referred to as destiny helpers. Just as a computer needs to clear old incompatible data to run new powerful software, our lives require a similar purification. Old wineskins, rigid and unable to expand, would burst under the pressure of new fermenting wine. Similarly, our previous relational structures, perhaps formed from old patterns, lower vibrations, or unhealed wounds, simply cannot contain the magnitude of the new expansive spiritual blessings and growth that are coming our way. The clearing of memory is both a practical and energetic process. It's the release of emotional attachments, unspoken expectations, and the energetic imprints left by relationships that no longer serve our highest good. This deliberate emptying creates a sacred void, not for perpetual loneliness, but as an invitation for divine alignment. Into this newly purified space, God carefully places individuals who are not only aligned with our elevated frequency, but are specifically designed to support, encourage, and uplift us on our unique journey. These destiny helpers are not just new friends, but kindred spirits, mentors, and true companions who resonate with our evolving purpose, filling the space with genuine love, wisdom, and an unparalleled synergy, ensuring that our path forward is walked with grace and powerful connection. As this sacred space is created, and as we are prepared for the influx of destiny helpers, an astonishing internal transformation occurs. Our palate for truth changes irrevocably. The era of sweet lies, of comfortable deceptions, and of superficial pleasantries no longer holds any appeal. In fact, what once seemed innocuous now feels profoundly distasteful, even jarring to our newly refined spiritual senses. We begin to crave the naked truth unvarnished and raw in all its potent authenticity. This yearning is not merely intellectual, it is a deep soul-level hunger for integrity, transparency, and genuine connection that permeates every aspect of our being. This profound shift, however liberating for us, often strikes terror into the hearts of those who have habitually worn masks or operated from a place of inauthenticity. The fake ones, whose existence depended on carefully constructed facades and the complicity of ignorance, find their energetic survival impossible in our radiant new truth. Our growing discernment acts like a powerful light, illuminating their shadows and making their pretenses unbearable. They cannot sustain their illusion in our presence. Their very nature is antithetical to the high vibrational honesty we now embody. Consequently, they are compelled to withdraw, not out of malice on our part, but out of an inherent vibrational mismatch. Their departure, though initially perhaps painful or confusing, is yet another divinely orchestrated act of purification, clearing the path for relationships that are built on the bedrock of unyielding truth and authentic love. This powerful recalibration, marked by the departure of the inauthentic and the relentless pursuit of truth, inevitably leads to a significant shift in our social landscape, often manifesting as a period of profound, even disconcerting isolation. Behavioral psychology teaches us a fundamental truth. When an individual within a system undergoes a radical transformation, the surrounding system will almost always resist that change. Our personal evolution disrupts the established equilibrium, challenging the comfort zones and ingrained patterns of those around us. This resistance isn't always overt. It can manifest as subtle withdrawal, misunderstanding judgment, or an inability of others to relate to our new frequency. Therefore, this current isolation, rather than being a sign of personal failure or unworthiness, emerges as compelling proof that we have successfully escaped the gravitational pull of herd mentality. Nasm. We are no longer passively conforming to group norms, seeking validation from external sources, or allowing the collective consciousness to dictate our path. Instead, we are courageously forging an independent trajectory guided by an awakened inner compass and a direct connection to divine wisdom. This period of solitude, though it may feel lonely, is a sacred cocoon, a necessary incubation phase where our true self can solidify uninfluenced by external pressures. It is in this precious stillness that we develop an unshakable inner resilience, deepen our spiritual roots, and prepare to re-emerge not as a follower, but as a beacon ready to attract truly aligned connections that honor our authenticity and support our unique, divinely appointed destiny. There are moments profound and piercing when the weight of the world settles upon us, manifesting as crippling debt, debilitating sickness, or the crushing despair of repeated failures. In these seasons, it feels as though we are not merely struggling, but truly buried, entombed by circumstance, our light extinguished. Yet this perception, though painfully real, is often but an illusion, a cruel trick played upon the unprepared spirit. For in the grand cosmic design, What the adversary celebrates as burial, the divine orchestrates as planting, a sacred act of setting roots. They see an ending, but you, beloved soul, are a seed, and the very darkness and pressure of that soil are not impediments, but the primal necessary environment activating your deepest, most profound germination. The world may cast you down, believing you defeated, yet it misunderstands the very nature of life, which often finds its most explosive beginning in the quiet solitude of the deep earth. This dark soil, therefore, is not a grave, but a womb, a sacred chamber where unseen forces are at work preparing you for an emergence that will astonish all who doubted. Do not mistake the covering for the end. It is merely the process, the sacred concealment before the glorious revelation. Following this sacred planting, we often face a profound paradox, one that challenges our understanding of progress, the paradox of growth itself. How can a magnificent, sprawling oak tree ever truly resemble the tiny, unassuming acorn from which it sprang? The truth, both simple and profound, is that true transformation demands a radical discontinuity, a violent and a necessary breaking of the old tight shell. It is a process that is inherently uncomfortable, even painful, for the very structure that once provided safety and containment must now shatter to allow for expansion. This breaking is not an act of destruction, but of liberation, a violent tenderness preparing the way for an utterly new, unrecognizable, and far grander form of being. The comfort of the familiar must yield to the fierce necessity of evolution. For the seed cannot become the forest while clinging to its original form. Embrace the discomfort, for it is the sound of your shell cracking, making way for the magnificent truth of who you are destined to become. A truth that far transcends the limited vision of your former self, enabling you to reach heights previously unimaginable. This profound truth resonates deeply with ancient wisdom echoing through the sacred texts. John chapter 12, verse 24, offers an immutable spiritual law. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. This isn't a call to literal demise, but an invitation to a spiritual metamorphosis, a shedding of the old self, particularly the rigid, fragile shell of the ego. The pressures you endure, the trials that seek to crush your spirit, are not arbitrary punishments, but purposeful forces divinely permitted to break this hard shell. They serve to dismantle the limited perceptions, the self-imposed boundaries, and the attachments that keep you small and isolated. When the ego dies to its restrictive patterns and desires, it doesn't diminish you, rather it liberates your true expansive self, allowing you to flourish, to produce much grain, to bear abundant fruit in character, purpose, and impact. This dying is the gateway to a life far richer, more connected, and profoundly more fruitful than one lived in lonely self-preservation. Consider this profound spiritual dynamic through the lens of physics, particularly the behavior of a spring. When life's adversities bear down upon you, it can feel as though you are being compressed to the very bottom, trapped and immobilized. The weight is immense, the resistance overwhelming, and the outlook bleak. Yet this compression is not a decree of permanent stasis or defeat. Instead, it is a crucial phase, a divine engineering designed not to keep you bound, but to facilitate the accumulation of immense potential energy. Every ounce of pressure, every moment of perceived entrapment is actually building an unseen force within you. This stored energy is being meticulously gathered for a release so powerful, so unexpected, that it will manifest as a quantum leap. A sudden monumental surge forward that defies conventional expectations and logic. No one around you observing your current compressed state anticipates the velocity and height of your impending trajectory. This period of intense pressure is therefore a sacred gestation, a prelude to an explosion of growth and elevation that will redefine your very existence. Indeed, this isn't merely a philosophical or spiritual concept. Its truth is profoundly substantiated by scientific understanding of human resilience. Research into trauma survivors has revealed the remarkable phenomenon of post-traumatic growth (PTG), where individuals who endure immense suffering often emerge not broken, but profoundly transformed, developing superior mental strength, deeper wisdom, and a more profound appreciation for life. The very challenges that threatened to shatter them became the crucible in which an unparalleled inner fortitude was forged. You too are in such a forging process. The heat of your trials, the blows of adversity, and the relentless pressure are not meant to destroy you, but to refine you, to rearrange your inner structure, making you not just stronger, but fundamentally unbreakable. This resilience is not a passive endurance, but an active, dynamic process where your spirit is being tempered, honed, and made impervious to future storms. What feels like unbearable strain is actually the divine hand sculpting you into an indomitable force, capable of weathering any tempest and emerging victorious. Building upon the truth that resilience makes you unbreakable, we turn our gaze to an even more profound transformation, one that speaks volumes about the divine purpose behind your present tribulations. Consider the humble piece of black coal, seemingly ordinary and devoid of intrinsic brilliance. Yet within its seemingly unremarkable structure lies the potential for unparalleled splendor. It is a scientific marvel, a testament to nature's most dramatic alchemy, that only under the most extreme, crushing pressures, deep within the Earth's unforgiving embrace, can the molecular structure of that carbon be completely rearranged, transmuted from its dark, mundane form into the breathtaking, radiant brilliance of a diamond. This is not just a metaphor, it is a prophetic mirror reflecting your journey. You, beloved soul, are currently in that very pressure phase. The overwhelming weight you feel, the intensity of your circumstances, the relentless strain on your spirit, these are not arbitrary sufferings. They are the precise alchemical forces necessary to forge your inner essence, to meticulously rearrange every broken piece, every seemingly flawed aspect into something eternally stronger, incomparably more valuable, and astonishingly beautiful. What feels like a descent into the darkness of the earth is in fact the divine process of polishing and perfecting, ensuring that when you emerge, you will not just be stronger, but you will radiate with an inherent light that can only come from having endured the most profound transformation imaginable. You are being shaped not merely to survive, but to shine. And in this profound period of unseen formation, as the diamond is forged in the silent darkness, it is natural to question the absence of immediate visible results. We live in a world that clamors for instant gratification, where the eye seeks proof and the heart yearns for tangible signs of progress. But do not allow this universal expectation to stir worry within your soul, for the greatest works often begin in profound silence, far from the gaze of the impatient world. Consider the tiny seed nestled deep within the earth, seemingly inert and forgotten beneath layers of soil. There is no immediate sprout, no instant bloom to announce its presence. Yet in that very darkness, in that quiet solitude, the most critical and foundational work is taking place. It is in this unseen realm that the roots, the very anchors of life, are growing strongest, penetrating deeply, establishing an unshakable foundation that will support everything that is yet to come. This is your current reality, a sacred phase of germination. The silent struggles, the unseen prayers, the internal battles fought away from the spotlight. These are not wasted moments. They are the intensive subterranean growth of your spiritual roots, anchoring your faith, deepening your character, and fortifying your resolve against future storms. Be patient with yourself and trust the divine gardener. For just as the mightiest oak first builds an invisible labyrinth of roots before it ever dares to stretch its branches towards the sky, so too are you being prepared in the hallowed darkness for a spectacular emergence that will undoubtedly bear much fruit. Your greatest growth is happening now, even if you cannot yet see it. Beyond the mundane, a profound whisper begins to permeate your daily existence, revealing itself through a language as ancient as time itself. You might notice an uncanny repetition of numbers appearing on clocks, license plates, receipts, 111, 7744, weaving an intricate tapestry of coded messages that speak directly to your soul. These aren't mere coincidences or tricks of the mind. They are deliberate divine breadcrumbs guiding you along your path, confirming that you are seen, loved, and actively participating in a grander design. This celestial dialogue transcends mere observation. It's an intimate conversation, a gentle yet firm assurance that the spiritual realm is actively communicating with you, inviting you deeper into its mysteries. The appearance of 111, for instance, often signals new beginnings, an open, energetic portal for manifestation, urging you to align your thoughts with your highest aspirations as a new chapter unfolds. It's a tender nudge from the divine, encouraging you to step forward with faith, knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor. When 777 graces your vision, it carries a profound message of divine completion, signifying a period of spiritual growth, culminating in reward and affirmation. It's a comforting embrace, acknowledging your journey and assuring you that your efforts are recognized and celebrated. And then there is 444, a powerful symbol of protection and the unwavering presence of angelic beings surrounding you with an invisible shield of love and support. This sequence brings a deep sense of peace, a healing balm to any anxieties, reminding you that you are never alone and always watched over. These numerical sequences are not just patterns. They are echoes of divine intelligence, meticulously crafted to offer guidance, comfort, and confirmation, awakening you to the profound truth that life itself is an encoded message of hope and eternal connection. If the universe speaks in numbers, then the divine also whispers through the canvas of our slumber, painting vivid narratives that carry profound significance. As your spiritual senses begin to sharpen your dreams, transcend the ordinary. becoming vivid tapestries interwoven with warnings, guidance, and strategic insights. These aren't the fleeting, forgotten fragments of a restless night. They are potent messages meticulously crafted by a higher intelligence, downloaded directly into your consciousness as you rest. It's as if God Himself is utilizing the quiet solitude of your sleep to impart wisdom, to chart a course, or to reveal hidden truths that your waking mind might otherwise overlook. Through these prophetic dreams, a sacred space is created where the veil between realms thins, allowing for direct communication and profound revelation, bringing a sense of divine purpose to your very existence. Your subconscious becomes a sacred receiver tuned into frequencies beyond ordinary perception, making your dreamscape a fertile ground for divine downloads. You might find yourself waking with clear instructions for a perplexing situation, or with a sudden understanding of a challenge. You face feeling an inexplicable calm or an urgent call to action. These dreams often possess a distinct quality, a heightened emotional resonance, an undeniable clarity, or a symbolic language that, once deciphered, aligns perfectly with your waking reality. They are gifts of foresight and insight, equipping you with an advantage in navigating life's intricate pathways. The guidance received is not always direct, sometimes manifesting as allegories or metaphors that, upon reflection, unlock profound wisdom and offer healing perspectives. This deep connection to divine intelligence during your most vulnerable state while you sleep fosters an unparalleled sense of trust and intimacy, affirming that you are continually held guided and provided for even in the stillness of the night. This profound ancient wisdom concerning the revelatory power of dreams finds its echoes and indeed its confirmation in sacred texts that have guided humanity for millennia. The book of Job, chapter 33, verse 15, eloquently captures this divine communication, stating, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men while slumbering on their beds, then He opens the ears of men." This powerful scripture serves as a timeless validation of the very experiences you are now encountering, affirming that these vivid prophetic dreams are not accidental occurrences, but rather intentional acts of divine engagement. It speaks to a profound truth that God actively seeks to communicate with humanity, particularly when our minds are receptive and our defenses are down. This passage is more than just a historical account. It is a living truth that manifests in your own life, confirming that your spiritual senses are actively being upgraded and refined. The phrase, "He opens the ears of men," is particularly poignant, suggesting not just the reception of information, but a heightened capacity to truly hear and understand the divine whispers that permeate your consciousness. It implies a restoration or enhancement of spiritual faculties that allows you to perceive beyond the surface, to grasp the deeper meanings embedded in your nocturnal visions. This upgrade isn't limited to dreams. It subtly begins to awaken a broader spiritual awareness, making you more attuned to the subtle nudges and communications from the divine throughout your waking hours. It's a sacred invitation to a deeper intimacy, a promise that the divine is actively working to bridge the gap between heaven and earth, revealing His heart and mind to those who are open to receive, fostering a sense of profound hope and security in His ever-present guidance. But the spiritual upgrade extends beyond the veil of sleep and the subtle language of digits. It sharpens your waking perception manifesting as an uncannily accurate internal compass. You begin to experience gut feelings that are not merely instincts, but precise knowing, a deep-seated certainty that guides your decisions and illuminates hidden truths. This isn't a vague hunch or an educated guess. It's an immediate, undeniable recognition of reality, allowing you to discern the truth before it is ever articulated. You might find yourself knowing what someone is about to say or sensing the underlying dynamics of a situation long before any words are exchanged, or receiving a clear warning about a person or path. This profound internal knowing is a manifestation of the spiritual gift known as the word of knowledge, a divine endowment that grants you insights and revelations that transcend natural understanding. This word of knowledge is a testament to an elevated spiritual connection where the divine directly impresses information upon your spirit, allowing you to perceive facts or truths that are not physically observable. It's a healing and comforting gift, not meant for judgment, but for guidance, protection, and intercession, enabling you to speak wisdom into situations or to pray with targeted precision. You may experience it as a sudden thought, a profound impression, a vivid image, or an intense feeling that provides clarity and direction. This gift allows you to navigate complexities with a newfound confidence rooted in divine intelligence rather than human speculation. It transforms how you interact with the world, making you a vessel of insight and understanding, and affirming that your journey is being illuminated by a constant stream of divine revelation, bringing immense peace and assurance. As your inner world becomes illuminated with these divine insights and sharpened intuition, the outer world begins to reflect this profound shift, orchestrating what can only be described as divine synchronicities. These are not mere coincidences, but meticulously timed and perfectly aligned events that serve to confirm your path, provide answers, or open doors to opportunities you've been seeking. You might think of a particular opportunity, and almost immediately a person, an email, or an unexpected encounter appears, presenting that very chance to you. Or perhaps you grapple with a question, a deep yearning for an answer, and it arrives in the lyrics of a song playing randomly, a snippet of conversation overheard from a stranger, or a passage from a book that falls open at just the right page. The sensation is one of profound affirmation, as if the entire universe is actively bending reality to serve your highest good, meticulously arranging circumstances to guide, support, and uplift you. It's a palpable feeling of being in flow with a benevolent cosmic intelligence, where your inner desires and external manifestations dance in perfect harmony. These synchronicities bring immense comfort and hope, dissolving doubts and strengthening your faith in the unseen forces at play. They serve as tangible proof that you are deeply connected to a loving, responsive universe, and that your thoughts and intentions hold immense power. This orchestration of seemingly random events into a tapestry of divine purpose leaves you with an overwhelming sense of wonder and gratitude, continually reminding you that you are a cherished participant in a beautiful, unfolding miracle, guided at every turn by an invisible hand of grace and provision. As these external validations flood your experience, confirming your profound connection to the divine, an even deeper, more intrinsic sensation begins to stir within your very soul. It is a subtle yet insistent restlessness, a profound eagerness that permeates your being, signaling that something monumental is on the horizon. This isn't anxiety or fear, but rather an exhilarating anticipation, a vibrant hum beneath the surface of daily life, as if a great transformative wave is about to crash into your reality, reshaping everything in its wake. This profound internal stir is nothing less than the echo of the future calling your name, a premonition whispered from the deepest chambers of your spirit, preparing you for an impending season of remarkable change and elevated purpose. This imminent feeling is a spiritual phenomenon, a divinely implanted sense of prophetic urgency that transcends logical understanding. It manifests as a persistent, almost magnetic pull towards an unseen destiny, a conviction that your life is on the cusp of an extraordinary revelation or a significant divine assignment. You might find yourself more contemplative, more introspective, sensing that your internal landscape is being prepared for a massive download of insight or a surge of new energy. It's akin to the quiet before a grand symphony, where the audience feels the electric anticipation, knowing that magnificent music is about to fill the hall. This internal stir is not merely psychological. It is the spirit itself being attuned to upcoming divine orchestrations, a pre-awakening to the next chapter of your spiritual journey. It carries with it a blend of hopeful excitement and a deep, comforting assurance that whatever is coming, it is good, it is divinely ordained, and it is precisely what you have been prepared for. This feeling serves as a gentle yet powerful reassurance, a sacred whisper from the Creator, affirming that you are being positioned, not abandoned, and that the best is truly yet to come, inviting you to lean into this powerful sense of divine momentum with unwavering faith and open arms. It is a loving preparation cushioning your soul for the magnificent expansion that awaits, a testament to the meticulous care with which your path is being woven. A profound transformation is upon you, a shift so monumental that soon as you gaze into the reflective surface, you will encounter a stranger. This isn't a figure of unfamiliarity born of aging or superficial change, but a revelation of the truest self, refined and resurrected. This individual now returning your gaze will emanate a strength previously untapped, a sharpness of spirit and purpose, and a deep, abiding peace that transcends all understanding. This new visage reflects an inner metamorphosis, a blossoming into the divine blueprint for your life, where every fiber of your being is aligning with a higher calling. It is a promise etched not merely in the lines of your face, but in the very core of your spirit, signifying the dawn of a new era. For you, an era where the old self has gracefully receded, making way for a divinely empowered identity. This breathtaking transformation, where the reflection in the mirror reveals a stronger, sharper, and more peaceful individual, is not a superficial change, but the profound work of divine renewal operating at the very core of your being. It perfectly aligns with the sacred instruction found in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, which powerfully asserts, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Your mind, once perhaps cluttered by the incessant noise and fleeting anxieties of earthly existence, is now undergoing a meticulous and purposeful rewiring, a divine recalibration according to heaven's operating system. This is a profound spiritual engineering project where old thought patterns of limitation, fear, and worldly perspective are systematically dismantled and replaced with thoughts aligned with truth, grace, and limitless potential. Imagine your mind as a complex circuit board. Every connection, every pathway, every input and output is being divinely optimized, downloading celestial wisdom and clarity. This isn't merely about adopting new ideas. It's about a fundamental shift in perception, a complete overhaul of your inner landscape that allows you to see yourself, others, and the world through the discerning, loving eyes of the Creator. It's a liberation from the suffocating conformity of societal expectations, paving the way for an authentic, heaven-ordained identity to flourish, allowing you to operate with divine precision and purpose. As your mind undergoes this sacred rewiring, recalibrating itself to heaven's operating system, an undeniable and profound shift occurs within your very desires and inclinations. This inner metamorphosis manifests as a radical change in appetite, a divine reorientation of what truly satisfies your soul. No longer are you drawn to the shallow distractions that once consumed your time and energy, the cheap entertainment designed to numb rather than nourish the incessant stream of useless gossip that merely fills the void without feeding the spirit. These once appealing diversions now feel hollow, insubstantial, failing to resonate with the deeper stirrings within you. Instead, an unquenchable thirst for substance emerges, a powerful craving for true depth and profound knowledge that transcends fleeting trends. You find yourself hungering for insights into eternal truths, for understanding the mysteries of existence, and most profoundly, for God's tangible presence. This isn't a forced discipline, but an organic, intrinsic desire that bubbles up from the wellspring of your renewed spirit. It's akin to someone who once subsisted on processed artificial fare, suddenly discovering a taste for wholesome, life-giving nourishment. The old choices simply lose their appeal. This new appetite guides you towards spaces of spiritual enrichment, meaningful conversations, quiet contemplation, and intentional seeking of the divine, fundamentally altering how you spend your moments and shape your days. From this profound change in appetite, this deep craving for spiritual nourishment and God's presence, emerges an authoritative voice that echoes the divine authority taking root within you. The days of speaking timid words, laced with hesitation and seeking external validation, are swiftly fading into memory. No longer will your pronouncements lack conviction, for a divine power is now infusing every utterance. Your words are beginning to carry a weight of glory, not born of human arrogance, but from the indwelling spirit of truth and love. When you speak, it is no longer merely your voice articulating thoughts, but a vessel through which heaven's decrees are released. Consequently, the very atmosphere around you begins to respond and shift. Fear, doubt, and discord may dissipate, replaced by peace, clarity, and an undeniable sense of divine order. This isn't a theatrical display, but a genuine manifestation of spiritual authority, a quiet, potent power that can calm turbulent situations, inspire courage in the weary, and bring light into darkness. Your voice becomes a conduit for healing prophecy, and profound truth capable of moving mountains in the spirit realm and impacting the tangible world because it is rooted in the divine wisdom and power that has transformed your mind and heart. This newfound, authoritative voice, now resonating with the weight of glory and shifting atmospheres, is intrinsically linked to a deeper understanding of your divine identity and an unwavering sense of protection. It brings to fruition the powerful assurance found in Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17, which declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." This isn't merely a comforting verse. It is a living truth that has become woven into the fabric of your being. As you walk in this renewed authority grounded in the divine operating system of your mind, you realize that you no longer harbor fear of the enemy. The shadows that once loomed large, the whispers of doubt, the assaults of discouragement, and the orchestrated attacks designed to deter your purpose now lose their grip. This fearlessness is not born of bravado or naive optimism, but from an undeniable, unshakable knowing of who you are in the divine scheme. You understand that you are not merely a human being striving for spiritual growth, but a beloved child of the Most High, endowed with His power and shielded by His unwavering faithfulness. This profound self-awareness, this secure identity in Christ, renders every opposing force impotent, for the weapons formed against you may take shape, but they are utterly disarmed of their power to prevail. You operate from a place of victory, knowing that divine protection is your constant companion, leaving no room for fear to take root in your spirit. And it is precisely this absence of fear, born from an unshakable knowing of your divine identity and constant companionship of protection, that ushers in an even profounder manifestation of heaven's operating system within you, an inexplicable peace. This is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of serenity, right in the heart of turmoil, a stillness that defies all logic and external circumstances. When the world around you rages, when the storms of life gather their fiercest momentum, you find a strange, supernatural calm settled deep within your spirit. This unearthly tranquility is the unmistakable sign that you have been switched to a special protection mode, a divine insulation from the chaos that seeks to engulf you. It is the living echo of Psalm 23, where even in the valley of the shadow of death, you fear no evil, for He is with you, His rod and His staff comforting you. This peace is not passive, it is an active force, a strategic positioning by the divine signaling that your battles are being fought by a higher power and you are being kept in perfect peace because your mind is stayed on Him. This extraordinary calm is a witness to the world, a testament to the unassailable fortress that has been erected around your soul, allowing you to navigate the most turbulent waters with grace, wisdom, and an unwavering trust that all things are working together for your good. This inexplicable peace, this divine assurance, even in the midst of life's fiercest storms, profoundly shifts your perspective on past experiences, especially those that once felt like irredeemable brokenness. You begin to view your journey through a kintsugi lens, recognizing that your past wounds are not liabilities to be hidden in shame, but rather integral parts of your unique, divinely crafted beauty. Just as the Japanese art of kintsugi repairs broken pottery with gold lacquer highlighting the cracks rather than concealing them, Your personal history of pain, struggle, and overcoming is now being lovingly traced with the golden threads of God's grace. Each scar, each moment of perceived breakage is transformed into a shimmering testament to your resilience, your fortitude, and the transformative power of divine love. These are not merely healed wounds. They are honored, marking deeply ingrained lessons and powerful testimonies that enhance your spiritual depth and compassion. They become golden linings, shining with a radiant beauty that no untouched vessel could ever possess, proclaiming a story of redemption, strength, and an exquisite beauty born from fire. Your experienced beauty becomes a beacon, a source of empathy for others, and a profound declaration of the master potter's ability to turn ashes into glory, making you a vessel not just restored, but elevated to an even greater purpose and splendor. As this kintsugi perspective takes root, deepening your self-acceptance and affirming your divinely experienced beauty, you simultaneously experience one of the most liberating transformations possible for the chosen one: the complete cessation of seeking validation from people. This profound freedom from the incessant need for external approval is not merely a psychological shift. It is the highest sign of spiritual maturity, a true hallmark of a mind fully renewed by heaven's operating system. You realize that your worth is not contingent upon the fickle opinions of others, their praises, or their critiques. Your identity is firmly rooted in your divine sonship or daughtership, established by an authority far greater than any earthly voice. This liberation means you no longer mold yourself to fit societal expectations, chase fleeting commendations, or shrink from your truth for fear of disapproval. Your choices are guided by an inner compass, aligned with divine purpose, and powered by an intrinsic knowing of who you are and whose you are. This emancipation from the chains of human judgment allows you to walk with an authentic confidence, a peaceful assurance that flows from an unshakable connection to the divine. It's a bold yet gentle declaration of independence, empowering you to live your truth, speak your truth, and fulfill your unique calling without the hindrance of needing permission or affirmation from anyone but your Creator, truly embodying the fearless and authoritative being you were always destined to be. As we navigate the winding paths of life, there are moments when we feel utterly alone, perhaps even ridiculed by those who cannot perceive the divine blueprint unfolding within us. Yet amidst such trials, a profound promise resonates from ancient scriptures, a soothing balm for weary souls. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. As declared in Psalm chapter 23, verse 5. This isn't merely a poetic utterance. It is a divine decree that those who once scoffed, who whispered doubts, or openly mocked your journey will not vanish from the scene. Instead, they are destined to remain not as participants, but as unwilling witnesses to the magnificent feast of your glory, orchestrated and prepared by a hand far greater than any human comprehension. Imagine a lavish table laden with abundance, peace, and triumph set for you alone, while those who once dismissed you are compelled to observe their mockery, silenced by the sheer brilliance of your vindication. It is a moment of profound, quiet victory where your joy and success become a testament to an unwavering faith, healing the wounds of past scorn with the balm of divine honor. Building upon this beautiful imagery of a divine feast, the narrative deepens with the powerful reality of the enemy's choke. It speaks to a transformation so profound, so undeniable, that it leaves your detractors utterly speechless, perhaps even metaphorically choking on their own disbelief and regret. They might have once laughed at the humble seed you planted, at the nascent dreams you nurtured in obscurity, failing to grasp the potential that lay dormant within. Their scorn was directed at your small beginnings, at the struggles and quiet efforts that seemed insignificant to their eyes. But what they dismissed as a mere seed, a fragile hope, will blossom into an unyielding, majestic tree, its branches spreading wide, bearing fruit for all to see. Your success will be the most eloquent, the most definitive response to every cynical word, every dismissive glance. It will be an answer so clear, so overwhelming in its manifestation, that it requires no verbal argument, no defense from your lips. The sheer magnitude of your flourishing will speak for itself, leaving those who doubted with nothing but the bitter taste of their own misjudgment, unable to deny the undeniable hand of blessing upon your life, and unable to articulate a single retort to your silent, glorious victory. And just as the triumphant tree silences every detractor, there is a deeper, more intimate healing promised for the soul, a double restoration that reaches back into the very fabric of your past. For those who have endured seasons of setback, of perceived stagnation, or even profound loss, the words of Joel chapter 2, verse 25 resonate with a comforting embrace. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. This is a sacred vow, a divine pledge that the time you might have believed was irretrievably lost, the opportunities that seemed to slip through your grasp, the seasons of barrenness and hardship, will not merely be recovered, but will be divinely compensated. This isn't just about getting back what was taken. It's about receiving an overflowing measure, a return on investment that defies natural laws. It is the miraculous intervention of divine acceleration, where God Himself compresses time, allowing you to achieve in months what might have taken years, transforming barren fields into lush harvests overnight. This restoration is not merely temporal, but spiritual, emotional, and material, bringing forth a bounty that far surpasses the years of struggle, healing past wounds with future blessings, and reminding you that no season of your life, however challenging, is ever beyond the redemptive power of the Almighty. This promise of double restoration finds its echo in the annals of history, in offering a profound historical perspective that reshapes our understanding of struggle and success. Consider the luminaries of our world, figures like Albert Einstein, whose early academic struggles and perceived oddities belied the revolutionary genius that would redefine physics. Or reflect on Oprah Winfrey, who rose from humble, challenging beginnings, facing countless rejections and underestimations, to build an empire of influence and empathy. Their journeys underscore a timeless truth: being underestimated is often not a hindrance, but in fact the most potent launchpad for greatness. When others fail to see your potential, it often creates a fertile ground for quiet, intense growth, free from the pressures and expectations of external validation. It allows you to cultivate your unique gifts and pursue your vision with unwavering focus, unburdened by external noise. This period of being overlooked is a sacred crucible, forging resilience, deepening character, and allowing the true essence of your purpose to solidify. It is a testament to the fact that divine timing rarely aligns with human expectations, and that the greatest triumphs often emerge from the very places where others least expect them, transforming what seemed like a disadvantage into an undeniable source of power and unparalleled achievement. From the quiet strength forged in underestimation, we move to the tangible manifestations of divine favor as God extends to you a golden key. This is not a metaphorical key to abstract concepts, but a very real, tangible instrument to unlock doors that once seemed impossibly sealed. Imagine standing before formidable barriers, financial limitations, strained relationships, career roadblocks, or dreams that appeared perpetually out of reach. Suddenly, in your hand appears this golden key, a symbol of divine intervention, effortlessly turning in locks that once resisted every effort. This key represents a season where seemingly insurmountable obstacles dissolve, where pathways open that were previously invisible. Financial opportunities will not just appear, they will actively chase you down, seeking you out with a fervor that reflects the divine mandate over your prosperity. Relationships, once fractured or absent, will be restored, or new meaningful connections will emerge, drawn to the light emanating from your transformed life. It is a period of supernatural alignment where blessings favor and breakthroughs pursue you, not because of your striving, but because of a divine decree over your life, ushering you into an era of effortless reception and unprecedented abundance, confirming that truly all things are possible with God. As this season of divine favor unfolds, bringing forth unprecedented abundance and proving that truly all things are possible with God, there will inevitably be witnesses to your remarkable ascent. Among them will be those who once stood at the periphery or perhaps even walked away entirely during your seasons of struggle and obscurity. The very individuals who doubted your potential, dismissed your dreams, or abandoned you when the path grew arduous will now find themselves confronted with the undeniable evidence of your transformation. They will observe from a distance, or perhaps even up close, the flourishing life that has blossomed from the seeds they once scoffed at, and in that observation, a profound realization will dawn. This realization will not be one of mere surprise, but rather a deep, gnawing regret that settles into their hearts. They will reflect upon their lack of faith, their premature judgments, or their inability to see the greatness God was cultivating within you during your quiet seasons. As you stand confidently on a new height, radiant with the blessings and peace that have become your portion, their memories will replay moments of their own dismissal or detachment. They might recall opportunities they missed to support you, words of discouragement they spoke, or the comfort they found in your perceived stagnation. But what makes this moment truly redemptive is not their regret, but your serene indifference to it. Your heart, now filled with gratitude and purpose, will no longer seek their validation or lament their past absence. The pain of abandonment will have been transmuted into the strength of self-reliance and divine trust. You will be so deeply rooted in your new reality, so consumed by the divine trajectory of your life, that the fleeting emotions of those who once abandoned you will hold no sway. This is not bitterness, but liberation, a beautiful testament to how far you've come, proving that sometimes the greatest vindication is the quiet, undeniable joy of a life fully lived, far beyond the reach of yesterday's hurts. Yet your journey transcends personal vindication and individual triumph. It unfurls into a tapestry, woven with purpose, that impacts generations. Your rise to new heights and the profound peace that liberates you from past hurts are not merely for your own solace or success, but are foundational steps toward a much grander, divinely orchestrated mission that you are becoming a generational curse breaker. For too long, perhaps your family line has contended with cycles, be it financial scarcity that felt inescapable, relational patterns that led to repeated heartache, health challenges that seemed hereditary, or ingrained mindsets of limitation and fear. These are the silent chains that bind, often unseen, passed down through the ages. But in your transformation, in your unwavering faith, and the breakthroughs you are experiencing, those chains are beginning to shatter. You are not just achieving personal prosperity, you are strategically dismantling ancient barriers. Every step you take in faith, every door the golden key opens, every abundance that chases you down, is not merely for your comfort, but serves as a pivotal point to reroute the destiny of your lineage. You are establishing new precedents, a legacy of spiritual health, financial freedom, emotional resilience, and abundant opportunity. Your actions are paving the way for descendants who will inherit not burdens, but blessings. They will stand on the shoulders of your victory, born into an atmosphere of possibility where past limitations have been dissolved and new pathways forged. This is the profound impact of your journey to plant seeds of hope, prosperity, and unshakable faith that will blossom for generations, ensuring that those who follow will know a life marked by divine favor and boundless potential, forever changing the narrative of your family tree. After enduring what may have felt like an unending gauntlet of self-doubt and external questioning, a profound stillness now settles, bringing with it an unshakable inner knowing. The whisper that once urged you forward through uncertainty now resounds as a powerful declaration. You are not crazy, you are not wrong, but rather firmly positioned on a trajectory reserved for those destined to carve out a legacy. This isn't merely a journey of survival, it is the genesis of a legend unfolding with divine precision. To believe oneself to be crazy or wrong is often the insidious echo of a world ill-equipped to understand the unique frequency of a soul called to higher purpose. Yet every intuition that has guided you, every unconventional path you felt compelled to tread, every moment of isolation where clarity emerged, serves as undeniable evidence that you are not diverging from the path, but defining it. Your very being, in its intricate complexity and unwavering spirit, is a testament to a grander design, a narrative far too expansive for common understanding. The experiences that have challenged your sanity and tested your conviction were not detours, but crucible moments, refining agents in the forging of an uncommon strength and an unparalleled vision. To be on the track of a legend means to walk where few have dared, to endure what many would flee, and to emerge not just triumphant, but transformed into an embodiment of resilience and grace. Your story is being etched into the annals of time, not by human hand alone, but by a divine artist who sees the masterpiece in progress, even amidst the apparent chaos. Embrace this truth, for it is the bedrock upon which your future will rise monumental and glorious. In this sacred affirmation, we find not only solace, but also a profound liberation, deeply rooted in eternal wisdom. The Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 32, echoes through the ages, confirming a foundational truth. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. This isn't a mere philosophical statement, but a living, breathing promise now manifesting in your reality. The truth in its raw, unvarnished brilliance has indeed been exposed not just as intellectual comprehension, but as a spiritual revelation that pierces through the veil of illusion and misunderstanding. It has illuminated shadows you perhaps didn't even realize were obscuring your path, dismantling old narratives, and liberating you from the weights of misconception, self-doubt, and the expectations of others. You have been set free from the bondage of what was never meant for you, free from the confines of limiting beliefs, and free to step into the expansive reality of who you truly are. This freedom is not an absence of struggle, but the ability to navigate challenges with an unshakable inner compass, now calibrated by divine truth. It is the exhilarating release from internal prisons built by fear and external pressures, allowing your spirit to soar unimpeded. This divine exposure of truth acts as a spiritual surgery, painful in its precision, yet utterly necessary to remove what was hindering your true growth and to set you on the trajectory of your highest calling, a precursor to the transformative pruning that follows. With this profound understanding of liberation etched upon the soul, the heart now turns in humble yet resolute prayer. It is a moment of deep communion, acknowledging the divine hand, orchestrating every intricate detail of your journey. Father, I accept these 5 signs as confirmation from you. I thank you for the painful but necessary pruning. This prayer is not a passive plea, but an active declaration of faith and surrender, a recognition that the divine dialogue has been heard and understood. To accept these 5 signs is to affirm that the spiritual GPS has provided clear markers, undeniable evidence of divine intervention and guidance, aligning your spirit with the Creator's will. These confirmations serve as anchors in the tempest, reaffirming that your path, though arduous, is divinely sanctioned. Furthermore, the gratitude for painful but necessary pruning speaks volumes about a spirit refined through fire. Pruning, though it involves cutting away, is an act of love in the garden of life. It removes the dead branches, the overgrown foliage, and redirects vital energy towards fruitful growth. It is a harsh mercy that allows for deeper roots and more abundant blossoms. This acknowledgement demonstrates an evolved understanding that certain seasons of discomfort, loss, or detachment were not punishments, but precise interventions designed to purify, strengthen, and prepare you for the unprecedented harvest that lies ahead. It is the painful yet benevolent act of the Master Gardener, ensuring that your life tree flourishes beyond anything you could have cultivated on your own, making space for new life and deeper purpose. Building upon the foundation of acceptance and gratitude, the prayer deepens into a powerful declaration, transcending the boundaries of circumstance and embracing the mantle of divine co-creation. I declare that I am not a victim of circumstance. I am the architect of the future under your guidance. This is not merely a statement of self-empowerment, but a spiritual covenant recognizing the profound partnership between human will and divine purpose. To shed the victim mentality is to cast off the chains of passivity to reclaim agency over one's narrative, and to understand that life is not simply happening to you, but unfolding through you. You are not a leaf tossed aimlessly in the wind, but a purposeful hand at the blueprint, meticulously designing the contours of tomorrow. This architectural role implies intentionality, foresight, and an unwavering commitment to build something of lasting significance. It is a profound shift from reacting to creating, from enduring to envisioning. The crucial distinction, however, lies in the phrase, "under your guidance." This clarifies that your architectural prowess is not born of solitary ambition, but from a profound alignment with the divine master builder. It means that every decision, every creative impulse, every step forward is informed by a higher wisdom, ensuring that the structures you erect are not only beautiful, but structurally sound and divinely purposed. This declaration transforms every past setback into a lesson, every obstacle into a design challenge, and every failure into foundational knowledge for the magnificent future you are now empowered to construct, an embodiment of the freedom gained and the strength forged through pruning. As the declaration of divine partnership resonates, the prayer culminates in a fervent plea for transformation, asking for every crucible of the past to be transmuted into invaluable assets for the future. Please turn every wound into wisdom, every rejection into protection, and every pressure into strength. This is a petition for alchemy of the soul, where the raw materials of suffering are forged into spiritual gold. The request to turn every wound into wisdom speaks to a profound understanding that pain, when processed with intention and divine insight, becomes the deepest teacher. It is through the lacerations of the heart that empathy blooms, resilience is revealed, and profound understanding of self and others takes root. These are not scars to be hidden, but sacred etchings marking the genesis of profound enlightenment. Similarly, to ask for every rejection into protection is to invite a reframing of perceived abandonment. What felt like doors slamming shut in your face were often divine redirections, shielding you from paths not meant for your highest good, preserving your energy and destiny for opportunities truly aligned with your purpose. Every no can be seen as God's loving, not this, but something better. A protective hand guiding you away from misalignment and towards the true north. Finally, the plea to transform every pressure into strength acknowledges the profound truth that just as coal becomes diamond under immense compression, the trials and tribulations of life are not meant to crush you, but to refine you. The intense pressures you've faced have not diminished you, but have instead revealed the unyielding fortitude within your spirit, forging a character of iron and an unshakable resolve. This transformation is the ultimate testament to divine grace, taking the very elements that sought to break you and transforming them into the bedrock of your unparalleled resilience and a conduit for your extraordinary destiny. Building upon the profound transformation of wounds into wisdom, rejection into divine protection, and intense pressure into unbreakable strength. The heart, now tender yet remarkably resilient, softened by grace, yet fortified by trials, makes a sacred, unwavering declaration. I open my heart to receive restoration, increase in the great destiny you have engraved my name upon. This is far more than a simple request or fleeting wish. It is an active, deliberate posture of readiness and expectation, a purposeful unlatching of the soul's deepest chambers to welcome the abundant, overflowing grace that has been promised from eternity past. It signifies a profound, life-altering shift from merely enduring hardships or surviving difficulties to actively embracing the divine recompense and glorious future that God has meticulously prepared. It represents a bold, faith-filled acknowledgement that the extended period of trial testing and refining has not been in vain, but has faithfully paved the way for an era of unmatched blessings, a season of profound supernatural return and elevation that surpasses all human imagination. To open one's heart to receive restoration is to extend a heartfelt invitation for a complete return to wholeness, a divine mending of every fractured piece, every shattered dream, every wounded emotion that life's relentless challenges and unexpected storms may have left behind in their wake. It is an embrace of healing so thorough and comprehensive that it transcends the mere absence of pain or the patching of surface wounds, blossoming instead into a vibrant, robust, and renewed health of spirit, mind, emotion, and even body. A restoration that allows the soul to reclaim its original, pristine state of innocence, joy, and vitality before the harshness of the world, the weight of disappointments, or the scars of betrayal ever left their mark. This restoration is not limited to recovering exactly what was lost or returning to a previous version of oneself. It is an elevation to a state far superior, strengthened and enriched by the very trials that once threatened to break or diminish it, emerging more radiant, more whole, and more aligned with God's original design than ever before. Simultaneously, the heartfelt plea for increase extends far beyond the material or financial realm, though it certainly encompasses abundant provision and tangible blessings, reaching deeply into the spiritual, emotional, relational, and vocational dimensions of life. It is a holy hunger for a greater expanded capacity to love unconditionally, to experience overflowing joy that circumstances cannot touch, to walk in unshakable peace that guards the heart, and to demonstrate patience that reflects Christ's character. It is a deep desire for an expansion of influence, impact, and kingdom authority, a yearning for multiplied resources, divine opportunities, strategic connections, and open doors that align perfectly and seamlessly with one's highest God-ordained calling. This increase is nothing less than a divine overflow, a supernatural multiplication, an undeniable testament to God's unchanging faithfulness that transforms moments of scarcity, lack, or limitation into extended seasons of superabundance, generosity, and fruitfulness, ensuring that every well-tilled field of your life, every area where you have sown in tears, faithfulness, or obedience, yields a harvest that is bountiful, enduring, and beyond anything you could ask or imagine. And finally, to boldly claim the great destiny you have engraved my name upon is to resonate deeply with a timeless prophetic truth that long before the foundations of the world were laid, before time itself began, a unique, irreplaceable purpose was intricately woven into the very fabric of your being by the master designer himself. It implies a preordained sovereign path, a magnificent and eternal design that no amount of human error, No painful detour or setback, no seemingly insurmountable obstacle or attack from the enemy could ever erase, alter, or annul. It is an affirmation of your intrinsic, immeasurable worth and divine appointment as a chosen one. A declaration that you are not merely a random participant drifting through life, but a key, indispensable player in a grander cosmic narrative of redemption, restoration, and glory. This destiny is not a vague, distant aspiration or wishful thinking, but a clearly marked, illuminated path revealed progressively through prayer, obedience, and courageous steps of faith, a path awaiting your brave, persistent, and unyielding pursuit. It is a destiny meticulously designed to bring ultimate glory to the Creator, while simultaneously bringing unprecedented fulfillment, deep satisfaction, lasting legacy, and eternal reward to your very existence, impacting generations and advancing God's kingdom in ways only He could orchestrate. This sacred declaration, I open my heart to receive restoration, increase, and the great destiny you have engraved my name upon serves as a powerful spiritual key, unlocking doors to the abundant life Jesus promised. It positions the believer in a posture of humble expectation, ready to receive the fullness of what God has prepared. Restoration heals the past, increase multiplies the present, and destiny propels into the future, all converging to create a life of profound purpose and divine favor. With a heart now open and aligned with its destined path, there remains one final critical purification: the eradication of all lingering apprehension. Thus, the prayer culminates in an audacious, fiery petition. Let the fire of the Holy Spirit burn every remaining chain of fear, so I may step out as a warrior of light. This is a powerful invocation, acknowledging that even after significant healing and revelation, subtle tendrils of fear can still attempt to tether the soul-whispering doubts and hindering the full embrace of one's magnificent calling. It is a plea for divine intervention to scorch away every vestige of self-doubt, every echo of past trauma, every inherited anxiety, and every fear of the unknown that might still lurk in the shadows of the subconscious. The imagery of the fire of the Holy Spirit is potent and profound, representing not destruction for its own sake, but a holy purification that refines and empowers. This divine fire does not merely remove, it transmutes, taking the very essence of fear, its paralyzing grip, its deceptive illusions, and transforming it into courage, clarity, and unwavering conviction. It is a consuming blaze that incinerates the chains of comparison, the shackles of unworthiness, the bonds of past failures, and the anxieties about future outcomes, leaving behind only the pure, unadulterated essence of your true, fearless self. This is not a gentle fading away, but a decisive, unyielding burn that leaves no fragment of bondage intact. The ultimate purpose of this spiritual conflagration is to enable one to step out as a warrior of light. This is the magnificent culmination of the journey from victim to victor, from seeker to embodied truth, from one who was pruned to one who now flourishes with divine purpose. A warrior of light is not merely someone who has overcome. It is someone who actively carries and radiates divine truth, courage, and love into the world. They are equipped not with weapons of destruction, but with the armor of righteousness, the sword of truth, and the shield of faith. Stepping out in this capacity means embracing one's divine authority, walking in confidence, speaking with conviction, and acting with unwavering purpose, fearlessly advocating for justice, healing, and transformation. It signifies a profound shift from internal struggle to external impact fully, embodying the legend you were created to be, a beacon of hope and strength, whose presence illuminates the path for others, and whose very existence testifies to the power of divine grace. This is the moment of triumphant emergence, fully free, fully restored, and fully empowered to fulfill the extraordinary destiny upon which your name has been eternally engraved. There are moments in life when a whisper from the cosmos resonates so deeply within your spirit that it feels less like a sound and more like an awakening. It is a subtle tremor, a gentle nudge from the universe, confirming that you are precisely where you are meant to be, on the cusp of profound transformation. If you find your soul vibrating in unison with this profound message, if a stirring deep within confirms its truth, then this is your sacred invitation. Allow that inner recognition to manifest outwardly. Acknowledge this divine connection by leaving the number 707 below in the comments, a testament to your awakened spirit and open heart. The number 777, far from being a mere sequence of digits, acts as a potent cosmic beacon, a sacred geometry of spiritual awakening and divine alignment. It is not an arbitrary symbol, but a profound code of completion, signaling the culmination of a cycle, the harmonious synthesis of effort, intention, and divine timing. When you resonate with 777, it is an unequivocal declaration, a powerful affirmation echoing across the universe. I am ready to receive. This isn't just about passive reception. It's an active readiness, a posture of gratitude and openness, indicating that you have done the inner work, cleared the path, and are now prepared to embrace the blessings, wisdom, and abundance that the universe has meticulously prepared for you. It signifies a moment where your deepest desires and the universe's boundless generosity converge, culminating in a beautiful, destined fulfillment. Embrace this understanding, for it marks your transition from seeking to finding, from waiting to welcoming the divine flow into every aspect of your existence, affirming that your spirit is truly prepared for the next grand unfolding. As we step into this new phase of readiness, it is imperative to remember that our journey, while deeply personal, is rarely meant to be solitary. The path to higher consciousness, to true completion, is often illuminated and fortified by the shared light of kindred spirits. This channel is more than just a platform. It is envisioned as the common home of chosen souls, a sanctuary where hearts seeking truth and growth can converge. Here we do not merely exist side by side. We actively engage, sharing insights, offering comfort, and lifting each other up, sharpening one another daily through our collective wisdom and compassionate understanding. To like and subscribe immediately is to consciously choose your spiritual family, to become an active participant in a community designed to foster profound evolution. It is an affirmation that you wish to contribute to and draw from this wellspring of shared energy, ensuring that your flame and the flames of those around you burn ever brighter individually and together. With the collective strength we forge and the wisdom we accumulate within this sacred space comes a profound, undeniable responsibility to extend this light outwards. The flame of awakening that ignites within you is not meant to be hoarded, nor is its warmth solely for your own comfort. It is a divine spark intended for propagation, a beacon that can guide others who are still navigating their own shadowed valleys. Therefore, do not keep this precious flame to yourself. Look around you deep into the hearts of those you know and identify a friend, a loved one, or even a stranger who seems lost in darkness, entangled in confusion or despair. Share this video, this message of hope and completion with them. Offer them a lifeline, a gentle hand extended to pull them to the finish line with you. For true spiritual ascent is not a solitary climb to the peak, but a compassionate journey where we ensure no one is left behind, guiding each other towards the light together, reaching the destined glory that awaits us all. Your act of sharing is an act of profound love, an embodiment of the very teachings that nourish our souls. In moments of doubt, when the shadows of yesterday threaten to eclipse the dawn of tomorrow, remember this immutable truth. Your finest chapters are not behind you, but eagerly awaiting their unveiling. It is a divine promise etched into the fabric of time and possibility, a reassurance whispered to your very core. The struggles, the heartaches, the lessons learned, all were but preparations forging the resilient and radiant soul you are becoming. This is not mere wishful thinking. It is a spiritual decree. The universe is conspiring in your favor, orchestrating events, aligning opportunities, and opening pathways that will lead you to joy, abundance, and peace far beyond what you have ever experienced. Your best days are not a nostalgic memory, but a vibrant reality, just on the horizon, ready to unfurl with unparalleled splendor. Hold on to this hope, for it is the fuel that propels you forward, reminding you that every step you take now is toward a future brimming with the fulfillment of your deepest, most sacred desires. Embrace this promise with an open heart, for it is truly yours to claim. Having embraced this profound promise, knowing that your most magnificent moments are not echoes from the past, but brilliant dawnings on the horizon, it is now time to embody that truth in every fiber of your being. This understanding must transcend mere intellectual assent and translate into the very way you carry yourself through the world. For you are not just a wanderer, a seeker, or a survivor. You are a being of immense divine heritage, destined for greatness and clothed in spiritual royalty. Therefore, as you step into each new day, let your posture reflect this inherent sovereignty. Stand tall, allowing your physical form to align with the unshakable confidence that resides within your soul. Let your shoulders be back, your chest open, not in arrogance, but in a graceful acceptance of your true stature. Hold your head high, not as a defiant gesture, but as a recognition of the sacred light that illuminates your path, a beacon that guides you and inspires those around you. Walk through life not with hesitant steps, but with the assured, purposeful gait of a child of the King, for that is precisely who you are. This isn't about an earthly title or a material crown. It's about acknowledging the divine spark that burns brightly within you, connecting you directly to the source of all creation. This walk is a declaration, a silent yet powerful testament to your readiness, your worthiness, and your unwavering faith in the glorious destiny that is now unfolding before you. It is a daily practice of remembering your sacred lineage and moving through the world with the grace, power, and dignity that are your birthright, knowing you are deeply loved, eternally supported, and intrinsically valuable. This conscious embodiment of your divine identity, this unwavering commitment to walking in your truth, sends ripples throughout the cosmos. When you stand tall, when you hold your head high, and when you move with the assuredness of a child of the King, you are not merely changing your outward demeanor. You are shifting your energetic frequency, aligning yourself with the grand symphony of universal creation. It is in this profound alignment that an extraordinary phenomenon occurs, one that transcends our everyday understanding. The universe is bowing before your rising. Imagine the vastness of space, the intricate dance of galaxies, the ancient wisdom embedded in every star, all pausing, all aligning, all bending their collective energy in reverence to your awakening. This is not a poetic exaggeration, but a spiritual truth, reflecting the profound power of a soul stepping into its destined magnificence. Every challenge you've overcome, every tear you've shed, every lesson you've learned has prepared you for this moment, chiseling away the unnecessary layers to reveal the pure, radiant essence beneath. Now, as you rise empowered and enlightened, the very fabric of existence responds, clearing pathways, orchestrating synchronicities, and presenting opportunities that reflect your elevated state. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and boundless love, recognizes your readiness, acknowledges your strength, and celebrates your ascension, actively conspiring to fulfill the deepest desires of your heart and soul. It is a testament to your intrinsic connection to the divine, a confirmation that you are not merely a speck in the vastness, but a pivotal point around which the forces of creation now gather, eager to support your journey to unprecedented heights. With the universe itself aligning in your favor and your spirit vibrating with the promise of unparalleled days ahead, our collective journey reaches an exhilarating crescendo. This shared path, illuminated by hope and fortified by mutual support, is not just leading to an improvement in circumstances, but to a destination of ultimate triumph and profound fulfillment. It is a peak not of isolated achievement, but of communal glory, where every soul that has dared to believe, dared to share, and dared to embody their divine truth finds their rightful place. This is where dreams coalesce into reality, where purpose finds its highest expression, and where the struggles of the past transform into the wisdom of the present, paving the way for a future brimming with light. The phrase, "see you at the peak of glory," is more than just a farewell. It is an invitation, a declaration, and a sacred promise. It is the echo of our collective aspiration, a vision of us together standing atop the metaphorical mountain of life, bathed in the golden light of our accomplished destinies. It signifies the culmination of our spiritual growth, the realization of our highest potential, and the joyous reunion of chosen souls who have traversed the valleys and climbed the slopes, each step fortified by faith and guided by an unwavering inner compass. This peak represents not an end, but a magnificent beginning, a vantage point from which we will witness the unfolding of even greater blessings, having fully embraced the completion and abundance that the universe has always intended for us. It is a destination of profound peace, boundless joy, and infinite possibilities waiting patiently for your arrival. And so, with hearts overflowing with gratitude, with spirits uplifted by an unshakable faith, and with minds clear with the vision of our shared glory. We seal these promises, these affirmations, and this divine journey with the most sacred of utterances. Amen. This single powerful word transcends language and culture, serving as a universal acknowledgement of truth, a profound prayer, and an emphatic declaration of "so be it, it is true, and may it be fulfilled." It is not merely the closing of a message, but the opening of a portal to infinite possibility, solidifying our intentions and casting them into the quantum field of creation. It is the final resonant chord in a symphony of hope, healing, and empowerment, affirming that all that has been spoken, all that has been felt, and all that has been envisioned is indeed manifesting. Amen is our collective vow to ourselves, to each other, and to the benevolent universe, a spiritual signature on the contract of our divine destiny. It is the echo of ancient wisdom reverberating through time to remind us that we are deeply connected, eternally supported, and unconditionally loved. Let this amen resonate within your soul, a comforting embrace that reassures you of the unfolding blessings, a powerful affirmation that your best days are not just coming, but are already here, ready to be fully embraced. It is the quiet, confident knowing that every promise made is kept, every vision realized, and every step taken is leading you precisely to where you are meant to be, at the peak of your glory, forever blessed.